Hey Rivals coaches, Zay Valor here. What I'm going to do today is we are going to kind of update the team building videos here. Now, if you've watched my team building videos for 3.0, while that was good strategy going into 3.0, now that we're in 3.1, we need to take a little bit different approach. Now, what's really making this change necessary is how checks have changed. In 3.0, we could more easily identify which players are going to be a part of which plays. And so we could train our players individually to take advantage of those checks. So, for example, as we know, Ambush used the entire team against 3 of theirs. So we could train the entire team for that. However, you could then look at something like Engage, where it was just a laner versus laner. So you could train your laner to be as good as Engage as possible without having to worry about your other team also having that positioning and knowledge. So, teams had players that were more individualized. With 3.1, checks have changed to include way more players, even players that aren't necessarily going to be a part of the combat. So, to help us with that change, we're going to switch to a more team-oriented training. That is what I suggest, and what I've had a lot of success with, is focusing on 3 and maybe 4 attributes for the entire team, and then building around plays that use those attributes. So I will say enough people have played me by now. They kind of know what my team wants to do. I am a timing, knowledge, and what's the last one? Timing, knowledge, and awareness team. There it is. Timing, knowledge, and awareness. And then I also splash a little bit of survivability in there as well, just because survivability and awareness go so well together. What that allows me to do, it allows me to pick plays that use those attributes and be as powerful as possible on them. So what you can do is you can look at what plays you want to use, what power plays specifically you want to use, because those are tied now to tactics, and then build your team to take advantage of those. So, for instance, I really like to farm. I personally call my team comp Hyper Farm. I want to use farm as much as I possibly can. And so I wanted to make sure I could use the attributes that those are a part of, which are timing and awareness. Hence, why timing and awareness are 2 of the 3 that I've focused on. Now, for instance, if you want to do something with lane swap, or split push, or team push, something like that, you really need to look at what attributes you want to use. So like almost all the pushing plays use accuracy, so if I want to be super aggressive with pushing, I should probably train my entire team in accuracy, and then discipline for lane swap and early push. Easy enough, right? So that's really just the only change. One thing I wanted to show as an example of where this check change is coming is most noticeably in team fights and certain engaging plays. So let's go into early phase 1 here. This is against Jerry. Shout out to Jerry for beating me here. So let's look at Invade. As you can see, the MG has made it so that Invade takes the skill check for every single player, 5 on 5. However, if we go down here, I failed this check, I got a red bar. If we go down, it actually was a 3v5 in combat. So even though my bottom lane got to use their attributes, they weren't part of the fight. This is completely different from 3.0 and why team training is so much more important. Now, here's something that's pretty cool. If you go over here now, we got a gray bar on Invade, and you can see it actually came down to a 5v1. Now, because Jerry did not get a successful check, he did not get as many targets. While this looks like it's actually an advantage to him having a 5v1, you can actually see that 2 of his champions, his bot laners, were so delayed they didn't actually get to even be part of the combat. Therefore, it was more like a 3v1. We can also see instances here with Engage. Engage, again, the defense was just okay, so it became a 2-on-2 even though the check had it as a 3-on-3. Then we go over to our other Engage, where gray bar it was then a 2-on-1. So this is where it really helps to understand that team building now is very team oriented. If you've watched my past videos, you know I talk about internal versus external synergy. External synergy is significantly more important now. While it will absolutely help to have players that can use the same play consistently, such as having your top laner have split push or engage, or well, not engage for top laner, but your jungle having engage, for instance, or boost XP, those are absolutely going to help, but it's not as important as having all your plays work together at this point, and to have your team trained to use those plays that work together. So that's kind of the update. It's the reason I'm not updating my team builder. My team builder was very much focused on finding that internal synergy of your player. What plays do they have available to them, and what stats should you train that specific player in? Because the philosophy has changed, I'm not going to be updating it. I think it's going to actually be more confusing if I leave it. So we're going to just disregard that for now. I have plans to work on something. When I'll get to it, hard to say. But I'm going to at least try to get something out to you all where it will help with team building in the same way the team builder did, just with the new philosophy. So keep your eyes out for that. Again, if you have any questions about how to team build, how to choose what plays to build, how to win in 3.2 now, please hit me up on the Discord. We'd be happy to help. I'm never going to say I'm not answering a question. If you want to know more about my team specifically, I'll be happy to answer. If you want to know more about what teams I think will be beneficial or powerful in this patch, happy to answer with those as well. Any case, I hope to see you out there, coaches. Have fun and get the team building.